What's up, y'all? Whoops. Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, those are just a couple beats on the Roland P6, which I'm still getting acquainted with. It's been a lot of fun to use so far, though. I've had it for about a week now. I guess you could say. I think I got it on Wednesday of last week. But yeah, this thing's been fun. And yeah, I've got a couple devices assembled here. The dream team, you could say. Because I did want to do some comparisons and see what kind of lo-fi goodness we can sort of compare side by side when it comes to the Lofi12XT, which has the 12-bit mode, and then this thing, which has different sample rates, and also it has a mod in it that makes it 12-bit as well. So it's a good way to compare apples to apples in a sense. So yeah, we'll probably get into that later. I definitely want to make a beat on it first though. And I also have the MIDI out of this device going into the MIDI in here, I think. It's kind of hard to tell on the back of this thing which one's the MIDI because it's been painted over. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, I definitely want to test some MIDI implementations, I guess you could say, just to see, you know, using this thing as the controller for this, if I can get some, like, I don't know, interesting performance effects or dial sequences in a little bit easier. So yeah, enough yapping. Let's go ahead and get started. First things first though, we're going to do a new beat, and I have to delete one of the old beats to make room for it. So let's figure out which one I want to do here. Yeah, this one's kind of a clippy mess, so let's start fresh here. Now I need to locate what bank these sounds are on. Okay, so it seems like I have it on the E and the F bank. And that's kind of my approach with this thing, is using like 2 banks per beat, having one bank be like the drums and rhythm section type stuff, and then the other bank is for like the melodic stuff. But there's sometimes some crossover. Okay, so let's delete all these sounds. You're gonna go bye-bye, boom. All right, so the drums are gone. And then the melodic content's gone. So I press play, nothing happens. So wheat, and then this is pattern 9. Just making a mental note. And then I'm also going to do shift, clear all, to get rid of the sequence data. And then let's also set the length of the pattern to 16 steps. So we're going to keep it nice and short, basically so I can build like kind of a short drum loop, and then from there I can space it out. Okay, so everything's looking good so far. I haven't really picked what BPM I want to work in yet. Maybe I'll just keep it 86. All right, and then let's load up some drum samples. Yeah, I've got my M8 off screen here doing the heavy lifting when it comes to my sample library. So big shout out to M8 for that. And yeah, so I'm just going to load up a basic kit. I'll do like, you know, snare, kick, hi-hat, whatever. So let's do that. I cannot hear the M8. I have to unmute maybe? Oh, bro. I gotta plug it into the P6. Alright, give me a second here. It's gonna be a lot of finagling in this stream. Hope you all are ready. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Super duper quiet. Let's try that one more time. Juicy. All right, so let me find a snare that sounds interesting. All right, I dig this one. So let's get it recorded in. All right, so, oh yeah, let me check the recording settings here, make sure we're good. Sampling. We're gonna do mono, and this should be free. Make sure we've got our threshold recording so that it starts recording once it hears sound. Let me make sure that I do not have step sampling enabled. I don't think I do. Okay, so that's off. And then I think we are good to sample it in. Whoops. Okay, got a snare in there. Let's keep shopping around. And I am going to punch this snare into the sequence just so I can have it playing while I'm listening for other drum samples, just to make sure everything matches. That's a real dusty kick right there. Hear that vinyl crackle? I'm into it. Okay, so let me record this one in. I know, seems a little tedious. You don't have an SD card slot on this thing though, so you gotta do what you gotta do. There's also a P6 app too that I've never used. It's like a computer program or something. I might mess around with that later, but for now, just recording things in the good old fashioned way. All right, so sample. All right, sounding pretty chill. And then let me just get a hi-hat in here. And I promise we'll come up with a better drum sequence. First things first though, gotta load them up. Okay. I get down with that. It's a little quiet though. Let me boost it up. And it's going to normalize the heck out of it because that's something this device does. So I'll probably have to turn it down anyways. But first things first here. Bring that level down. All right, so pretty basic kit. Let's actually shift gears a second here, because my idea was to try to use some MIDI to trigger some of this stuff, because the pads are not velocity sensitive, which generally is not a problem, but I am interested in seeing if I can use this to kind of launch the samples. So let me do some MIDI stuff here. Give me 1 second. All right, so I got to go to System, MIDI, Config. Let's make sure we're doing MIDI out. And then transmit note. Yes, please. And I don't think I need any of this other stuff enabled. And then the track. I gotta figure out what track I'm supposed to be using here. Okay, so you can go Shift Menu. And then one of these settings is going to be for MIDI channels. Okay, here we go. So there's like 3 channels that you can specify from this menu. There's the S channel or the sample channel. And what that does is it allows you to use the keys on your MIDI controller to trigger different pads, like different sample pads across all the banks. I think it's all the banks. And then the G channel is the granular channel, which allows you to use your keys on your MIDI controller to trigger the granular instrument. Not very interested in that, so we're going to skip it. And then there's the A channel. And I think what this does is whatever pad you have selected, it allows you to use the keys on your MIDI keyboard to play something chromatically or play slices if it's a sample that has slices. So we got options. I think I want to try the S channel because my goal here is to trigger these pads using the pads on here because these are velocity sensitive. These are not. Okay, so we're going to do S channel. And it says that it's set to 11, which is chill because we can change this to 11. And then I don't really know what all this other stuff is doing, so I'll just leave it at the end. Okay, so track 1 is on channel 11. So theoretically, I should be able to control something. Maybe I have to go down a couple octaves. It's possible that I have this plugged into the wrong port. So we're going to try and do the old switcheroo here. Still no dice. And I have the correct track selected. Track 1. And it's going MIDI out. The only thing that I'm not super sure on is whether this is a type A MIDI adapter or type B MIDI adapter. So that might be screwing us over here. Let me check this instrument and make sure I got it in the right port first. Okay, so the MIDI in is definitely connected to the correct port. And I should be sending channel 11 notes, but it's not doing it. So it's possible I got a MIDI type A, type B situation going on here. And I've got just the thing for that. My little plastic baggie here. So this is like a MIDI inverter thing. And it basically allows you to convert type A to type B. Super tiny. So basically what I need to do is try plugging this in. Man, I need a 3.5 millimeter too. Okay, so we've got this. And then I'm going to unplug this one. I know it's kind of a mess over here, but we're making big moves. Okay. Don't know exactly how this inverter thing works. There is a switch on it. Still not hearing anything. Something's going on. Let me double check these settings. Make sure I didn't totally screw something up. So we've got 1 is outputting on channel 11, which is the S channel. Gonna double check that. Yep. And then we've got out to MIDI. This is plugged into the MIDI out. Transmit note. Command transmit. Let's see if maybe that fixed our problem here. Negative. Why are you not triggering? This is plugged into the MIDI out, is it not? Yeah, MIDI out is on the right. Something is amiss here. Oh, did I mute it? No. All right, I'm gonna give this another 2 minutes. If I can't figure it out, we're gonna switch to plan B. Okay. Ah, there we go. I was too low on the keyboard. I was on C1. I really should have looked this up before subjecting you all to figuring this out on stream. Oh, there we go. This is the snare here. And the kick. Okay, feels a little cramped here, but at least we got it working. Now, let's clear out the note data here. And I actually have a wacky experiment that I want to conduct here, which is I want to use this interesting delay trick to see if we can program some like kind of wild sounding drums. So let's do that. I'm going to do some initial setup though. So I need to go to sampling. This can be mono, that's fine. And then instead of having a free, I'm going to do two measures, or 2 bars, I guess you call that. And then, yeah, -24 is fine. Okay, so we've got our sampling settings dialed in. Now what I'm going to do is exit, turn on delay, and we're going to max this thing the hell out all the way to the top. And so basically what this will do is as I play this, it'll create this like infinite feedback loop, or not feedback loop, it's like an infinite delay basically, and it'll just continue to loop at 1 bar because the delay is set to 1/1. So an example. So that's just the delay buffer looping over and over again. And then you can do some kind of weird stuff with it. So you can bring the delay length down. And now it's back to 1/1. And then you can kind of reset it by just like bringing the length down again. All right, so now that we know how it works, let's get a clean slate. So I can activate another effect, which will disable the delay, and you can turn it back on. And yeah, this is called the Dockham delay trick. It's named after this guy that used like the 404 to do something similar to create an infinite delay loop that you can kind of just use as a 1 bar looper. But I am interested in figuring out how to use this to create more interesting rhythm sections. So let's try again. And this time I'm going to try and be like pretty disciplined here. I'm just going to put down a kick and then listen for the kick to loop, and then try to add rhythm sections after it. And then I'm going to shorten the length of the delay. Okay, so let's say we've got it where we want it. So now if I want to capture this loop, I can do sampling, select an empty pad, and then once I press sampling, it's going to wait for the threshold, which is like going to trigger immediately, and then it'll record 2 measures of it. So yeah, just writing that out real quick. And the buffer's still going, but I'm going to turn it off. And then now on this pad, I have that looped like drum sequence or whatever you want to call it. And so if I wanted to slice this, you can go into Shift Voice and then go to the chop. And since I know that it's 2 measures, that's, I mean, I should be able to slice it evenly using like 16 or 8 or something like that. It should sound halfway decent, maybe. So let's try 16. And then go to keyboard mode. Try pitching it down. I don't know, so you can build like really wild rhythms that are like super not quantized. And it's kind of tough to like figure out how to incorporate that back into the rhythm section. I mean, there are some like kind of clean hits, quote unquote. Like this is kind of a clean kick. This one too. And another interesting thing you could do is sequence some of this and then combine it with the one-shots that you already have to sort of like, I don't know, evolve the rhythm even further. You've got like the recorded delay buffer and then the original one-shots. So yeah, let's try doing one more that's like maybe a little bit more structured and then see if I can build something cool off it. Okay, so turning on delay. And then I'm going to start with a kick. Dang, I kind of screwed that up. And then let's mess with the length again. All right, so let's record this. Sounds pretty chill. Yeah, sampling, select it. All right, so we should have gotten something halfway decent, maybe. All right, so turning that off, let's take a listen here. All right, so here's why I recorded two measures, because what I want to do is adjust the start and the end point so that it's only got one of them, but I wanted to make sure there were two recorded so that I could have a little bit of wiggle room if I didn't start the recording at exactly the right time. So there's a little bit of a window that I have basically now that there's two. So let's do some start and end points here and try and get it looping. Okay, I think this will work. And then just like before, we'll do shift voice, get to chop mode, and then try 4, I guess. Let me try adjusting the length a little bit. All right, that sounds pretty chill. Let me see what 8 sounds like though. And we'll try pitching it down. All right, let's get something punched in the sequence here. So keyboard mode. All right, and we're going to do some step recording. So we press the record button, and then this allows you to select certain steps for notes to be on. So I think I should be able to do one, like on all the odd ones maybe. And then we can also adjust the micro timing of some of the notes to kind of shift the rhythm further. All right. And so we still have the one shots too, so we could try to work those in as well. So let's see. All right, let's get some melodic stuff in the mix. Dude, this sounds pretty sick. Gotta make it louder though. All right, let's record that in, see how that sounds. Okay, and then I also need to reconfigure some of my settings here. So I need to make sure it's doing the 2 measure length for the recording. Yeah, we're gonna keep that free. And then, yeah, -24 still chill. We'll do stereo on this one. And then, yeah, I'm not going to adjust the sample rate or anything. Okay, I think we are good to go. Just about at the end, too. Nice. Sounds pretty chill looped. Let's do some slicing though and see if maybe we can find some sweet spots here. So shift voice, chop. And then I guess we'll try 8, see what's up. Alright, I think I'm going to keep shopping around here. Can find some other cool melodies. So yeah, let's keep that looping. Keep looking around here. Keep it nice and simple. See what these levels are like. Doesn't have a lot of sustain to it, but we'll make it work. let's try, and since we've got the MIDI configuration halfway configured, let's go full way configured and do the channel that'll let me control it chromatically using this boy. So yeah, that's going to be the, what is it called here? Oh, exit. I have to go to shift menu, and that would be the A channel, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Which is channel 15. Let it be known. So we're going to set up track 2 to be channel 15. So system, MIDI, channel. Oops, track I mean. And then yeah, number 2 we will set to 15. And now I should be able to play track 2 and it'll play this Rhodes sample chromatically. One problem that I'm noticing though is that it's velocity sensitive. So let me also adjust the settings here so I can just kind of tap it out and not need to push super hard or whatever. Pad, I'm going to set this to 127, and that's basically going to make it so that when I push the pads it does max velocity and it doesn't matter how hard or soft I press it. Trying to figure out what I want that last note to be. I think that'll work though. Okay, so now I need to set the length to be the correct amount, because right now it's just 1 bar, 16 steps. Let me count out how many I have here. Alright, so I need it to be 4. Which is going to be 64 steps. So I need to duplicate it, and then I need to duplicate it again. Let me see if I did that right. So if I go shift last, 64 steps. Ain't that nice? Okay. And now, I'm actually not sure how it takes the MIDI notes. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so I need to turn on the metronome, which you hold pattern, then press record. And now when I press record and press play, it'll give me a count in. And then, yeah, the notes I want to play are doom, doom, doom. I think that's it. What was that all about? It said full. It was like a full error message. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm like holding it down when I need to just press it. Oh, it's set to gate. Oh, man, totally screwing this up. Okay. So let me just erase that. It's kind of annoying doing the erase on this. Okay, and then next page. Okay, we should be good. Yeah, it'll be way easier to just tap it in instead of holding it. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Okay. Alright, not too bad. Sounds a little gritty though, so I'm gonna put a low pass filter on it and see how that sounds. Oh shoot, screwed that up. Alright, that's chill. And then let's get some bass punched in. I'm gonna keep it super simple with the bass and just use like a sine wave or something. Let's do triangle actually. Alright, so we're going to record it in here. It's as long as it went. I think I accidentally kept it in stereo, which is fine. Set it to gate mode. And when I release, there's kind of a pop, so let me do voice. Add a little bit of release to this. Nice. And then... ooh, and then I can play it on here. And these keys I'm a little bit more comfortable with than these, especially because I have like the, what you call it? It's a little more visual, a little more spacious too. Let me put a filter on this as well. A little noisy, but not too bad. Something like that, maybe? Let's try to get that punched in. Wow, I pressed the record button on the Lofi12XT purely out of instinct, not realizing that it was not even recording on the, on the P6. let's get some other layers in the mix. Curious what this sounds pitched down. Let's try it out. Gonna record it in real quick here. Sampling. Keep it nice and subtle. dig this one. Let's see if we can work it in here. Nice. All right. So my plan for the horns is there's a section where the piano has like 2 notes. And so I don't want to put the horns there. I want to put the horns where there's only 1 note on the piano. So I believe that's the 1st and the 3rd bar. It just goes boom. Let's try putting some delay on the horns and see if that gives it a little bit more room to breathe, I guess. So yeah, you go shift mixer, and then you can select the send delay. See where we're at here. chill. Just shopping around for more samples. Nice, kind of a female choir type dealio here. I think this will work. Let's get it punched in as per usual. Nice and sped up. I might have to change this to, yeah, maybe I'll adjust the sample rate to make sure I have enough room here. So yeah, sampling, and then I'm going to press the lo-fi button, bring it down to 22. And then let's raise the levels a little bit too. Nice and shrill. Okay, so let's get it in here. Sampling. Beautiful. And hopefully we don't lose too much information with the lower sample rate. But if not, it's A-okay. Yeah, I'm not even sure how I want to deal with this. Maybe chop it up. Let's try 6, I guess. I don't know, kind of just rolling the dice here. Yeah, I got a lot of empty space at the end. Man, I need to come up with a better plan before I start pushing buttons when I press the record button. Okay, this is kind of a tricky one, and I'm wondering if maybe just looping it is better than trying to play some weird chops on it. But yeah, let me just go through and delete some of these notes that I added. Alright, so we should be clean. A little bit of a gap on this one, so let me try just punching it in right at the beginning. So yeah, keyboard, record, step 1. Let me try putting a filter on it. see if I can do something with this flute sound. This will be the last order of business on this one. Gotta crank it up though. Sample button, press it. And then keyboard mode. Nice. All right. Well, that beat came out pretty all right. Yeah, and that's kind of what I do when it comes to making music on this thing is I usually just try to stack like a bunch of layers and then sort of dial it back a little bit by muting stuff out, figuring out what I like, what I don't like. Because yeah, this female choir thing, I thought it sounded sick, but then I muted it out and I was like, wow, this beat sounds like hella better. It's not female choiring. Okay, but yeah, enough preaching to the choir here. Let's go ahead and switch it up just a little bit. Let me see if I have any empty banks on this thing. Nice, okay, cool. Because yeah, I did want to do some sonic experiments, and by that I mean test out the quality of sounds using the Roland P6 here and its various sampling rate frequency type things, and then compare that to the Lofi12XT. So my idea was to record some sounds into here and then record them into here and kind of like compare what it sounds like, I guess. So I didn't really think it through too much more than that. But yeah, let's I need to find an empty sort of space where I can record a bunch of stuff so that we can test out some of these different levels. Or not levels, but different sound profiles, I guess you could call them. So yeah, let me try and find some space here. Man, I'm gonna be full as a bowl here. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to clear out some patterns, or clear out a pattern. Let's figure out, oh yeah, you know what, I should save this freaking thing too. Shift right, save it, make sure you don't lose it. All right, so let me load up this pattern, I guess. Okay, enough fun. All right, yeah, this one I can clear out. So let's, yeah, so I'm gonna delete all the sounds on it. And that beat is gone. Bye. And, but I backed it up already on my computer, so it's fine. And then, yeah, let me just clear the pattern data, I guess. Not gonna make too much of a difference, but shift, all, clear it. Okay. So yeah, we've got some clean banks here. And yeah, the whole plan is I'm just gonna record some samples in, and then we'll kind of compare and contrast what we get on this versus this in terms of sounds. So let me find some like drum breaks or something, because I'm sure that's the $1 million question. What do the drums sound like? Do they sound punchy? So let me find some. Checking my folders here. If I was a drum break, where would I be? Oh, I got a good idea. All right, so curated, and then, yeah, all right, this should be good. Nice and funky. All right, so yeah, we're just gonna record it in. I probably shouldn't mess around with the pitch shifting stuff. Just kind of want to record it in as it is. Or maybe, no, I don't know. Just record it in as it is. That's the plan. Okay, so sampling. Let me make it a little louder. Okay, so yeah, and I want to try it at different rates too. So right now, we'll do 44. Whoa. Do I have it on stereo? Did not seem like it was a lot there. All right, so sampling, I don't know. Let's just make sure I didn't have it on stereo. So I'm going to delete this. Sampling, record. Hey. Yeah, so I did have it on stereo. Whoops. And this is good too to have it on mono because this thing is also mono. So when I'm doing the comparison, I'm going to want to make absolutely sure that we've got mono on both. Okay, so that was the highest setting, 48, or what is it? 44 kilohertz is what I meant to say. Now let's do one lower. All right, and then next up, even lower than that, 14.7. Wonder why it's 0.7. Of all the points it could be, why 0.7? That's my question to Roland. Okay, and then I think we just have one more sample rate, which is sampling 11. The low 11 kilohertz. And I'm going to throw in a wild card here. I'm going to do 11, but I'm going to do pitched up an octave. Just for that extra nasty grit. Sounds gnarly. Okay, let me put all these on gate so I'm not like one-shotting the hell out of this. Or wait, yeah. I don't want to listen to this yet. I want to record it onto here too. So let's do that. Do it on track 3. Oh man, this is where I gotta reconfigure and recajigger. Alright, so let me unplug this. Nice and loud. And then I'm going to plug it in here. Can I hear it? Why is it not playing? Should be pretty loud. Got the output going into here. Pray tell, what's going on here? Sampling in. What's this thing? Oh, I can kind of hear it. Why is it so quiet though? Not sure what this thing's doing. I've got a plan though. When in doubt, direct connect it out. Let's see what this does. No idea why that wasn't working, but okay. Nice and beefy. Okay. Or yeah, I don't even know. All right, so this is 24 kilohertz. And then we'll do 12 kilohertz as well. Pad on, pad off. How do I change this? Oh, there we go. And then just like before, we're going to pitch it up for one of them. All right, let me do some, oh crap, I recorded onto these pads, which are going to trigger this because of the MIDI channel. Oh man. Okay, I'm going to copy these boys over. And then copy. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so now I need to nice and loud. Adjust the envelope too so I can just let go of it when I'm done listening to it. And of course I need to pitch this down. Dude, that sounds freaking nuts. Okay, so let's do our test here. This thing's not playing. Let me swear to goodness. I've got this janky setup. There we go. Okay, so this is 44.1 kilohertz with the 12-bit modded P6. And then we've got 22 kilohertz. Sounds very similar. And then 22 kilohertz here. And then we'll turn 12-bit mode off. Gets very punchy when you have 12-bit mode on. All right, and then here's 14 kilohertz. And then 11 kilohertz. I think so too, to be honest. I feel like the Lo-Fi 12, the 12-bit mode just like really gives it, yeah, it makes it even punchier somehow. But yeah, so these are the lower sample rates, and then this one is 11 kilohertz. Even with 12-bit mode off, it sounds like it's hitting pretty hard. And then the sped up ones. So this is sped up 11 kilohertz and then pitch back down. You lose a lot of clarity there, that's for sure. Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, straight 6-shooter comparison here. Wild West style duel. And yeah, I think Carrera's got the right idea here. I think the Lofi12XT is doing something special that the P6 is not doing. Although that doesn't mean that one invalidates the other or anything like that. But yeah, man, this thing has got a nice sound profile. Interesting sonic character is what it's got. The sound is great. And then the pitch shifting. I'm telling you, bro, this thing is pretty legit. Not gonna lie. Yeah, definitely take a look at it. It's got a lot of cool functionalities. Yeah, not just the sound, but even like the sequencing is super sick. It's got a good step sequencer. You've got modulation. It's got a lot of stuff that other samplers in this price range do not have. Like when I compare it to like the KO2, it's like this thing has got like send effects and insert effects and effects per track. It's like, yeah, you have a lot of control over the sound design. So this thing is fun. That is for sure. But yeah, kind of depends on what you're looking for, if you're in the market for stuff. But this is a fun sampler. Not gonna lie. Okay. And then yeah, there is one other kind of wacky thing we can do with the P6, which this is not every P6 can do this. It's unique to this one because it has this mod in it. Basically, if I turn this knob, it like decreases the sampling bitrate or something. I don't know. Here, I'll play it and you can hear. Man, that sounds nasty though. Getting the SP1200 vibes, dude. So this is like set all the way up. Very nice. Yeah, this thing, it's got some interesting sound possibilities for sure. And it gets very gritty when I turn that knob. But yeah, this thing is still pretty dope. I'm trying to think what else I could like do some side-by-side comparisons on. That was a drum break. Maybe like melodic stuff, like something super simple like a piano or something. Let's see, what else do I got in my bag of tricks here? Gigapack piano. Oh man, I can't even hear it. Oh, bro, this thing is nuts. Okay, so Love Me Loso writes in, or Love Mel Oso, not sure, I might have pronounced that wrong, writes in and asks, what the heck is that green knob? And that is a great question. The green knob is this knob that was added by Dig Dug DIY, which is the Etsy shop that I bought this from. And yeah, it's basically a mod that decreases the sample rate or sampling frequency or something. Yeah, I'm usually playing it safe and keeping it at 9 o'clock. Nice and not super crazy. But yeah, if you go past 12, it just starts getting kind of nuts. Yeah, bro. It's like I have no idea like what freaking mod chip he put in this thing, or I don't even know. I haven't opened it up and I'm not gonna. But it's funny too because this only affects the analog out, like the mix out from this headphone jack. If I have it plugged in via USB and I'm recording the audio digitally, it doesn't listen to this sound, or it doesn't affect the sound at all. So it's just something that's happening to like, yeah, this output, which is super weird. But yeah, so that's that. Oh yeah, let me see if I can find something else. Oh crap, I gotta plug this freaking thing back in. Oh, this is like the joy of having many samplers. You're like constantly plugging stuff in and out. Find a nice just regular piano or something. Or you know what, I'm gonna shop around in my wacky samples folder, see if we can do some other kind of weird stuff. Dude, all right, let's hear bass. Let's compare the bass on this thing and this thing and see how freaking crazy it sounds. All right, so I'm going to delete all this. And yeah, same methodology as before. We're going to be recording it in one at a time using the various sample rates. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, did I screw this up? No, here it is. Okay, sampling. Let's make sure we're on the highest setting. Add, do it. This thing sure takes its sweet time. Okay, and then next up, 22. Bow, 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 bow. And then 14. And then last but not least, 11. All right, and then let's get it saved on the Lofi12XT as well. Okay. Wait, sorry about that. Don't mind me, just I'm plugging cables in here in the most organized fashion known to man. All right, can I hear this? Dude, that already sounds pretty nice. All right, we're gonna start at 24, then we're gonna bring it down to 12 or 11. Whoops, forgot to bring it down. All right, on tonight's episode of What's More Lo-Fi, let's figure it out here. We got this one. Oh crap, that's right, I have to do this stupid thing. Do. Just setting my gate mode. Okay, so now we've got this. That's 44. That one's 22. That was 14. It all kind of sounds the same. All right, well, let's take a listen here then. This P6 has got some like gritty, nasty lo-fi-ness to it in a good way, not in a bad way. I feel like this one has a little more character when it comes to the bass and the low end. Yeah, this bass feels kind of softer to me than this. Although I will say these all kind of just sound the same to me. But yeah. Yeah, there's like that hiss. Yeah, it's got like... Yeah, it's like that noise. It's definitely part of this like wacky mod that I bought this thing for. Yeah, it's kind of an annoying noise, but it does get a little bit less noisy the more layers you have on, so sometimes it's harder to hear. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do sound the same. Yeah, these are all different rates too. Like this one maybe has a little bit more high end. It's hard to tell though. You're gonna have like headphones on to really hear it. Okay, so bass all sounds pretty similar no matter what the rate is. And it sounds pretty nasty over here in a good way. And over here, it's just kind of... Yeah, I feel like it doesn't have too much character on this. But again, it's like, you can always shape it later. That's the cool thing about this, is you could add like a bit crusher effect or whatever if you want to really take it to the next level. All right, so that was stand-up bass. What else do we got? All right, just gonna switch it up here really quickly. I don't know what I'm looking for right now, but when I find it, I'll know. All right, I think this will work. I was looking for something that kind of had more in the high end. This is kind of like a flute sort of string type thing, but I do need to turn it up because it's a little quiet. All right, yeah, let's take a listen here. See how this sounds. Okay, delete. And yeah, we'll start at 44 as per usual. Bring it down. Next up, we got 14.7. And then last but not least, we'll do 11. Oops. All right, and then we'll record it on here too. Oh, man. All right, cover your ears. Cool. And I promise I'm gonna get this more fine-tuned later, but for now, this is the setup. Okay. Oh crap, I didn't save it. Whoops, one more time. Okie dokie. And then I'll just adjust the envelope here. That's got a nice texture. Oh, let me turn off the sensitivity too. So yeah, you can definitely hear the artifacts on the 11 kilohertz one. And then let me get the P6 hooked back up. Forgot to set to gate mode. Whoops. Sounds so much brighter on the P6. Like you can hear the high frequencies a lot more, but again, it is sounding kind of like that lo-fi sort of bit crush type. I feel like that's where the high end is coming from that like ringing sound, the aliasing. But yeah, it sounds like it's like completely gone on this one. Like the high end is like kind of gutted a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like the sound of it more on this. And then let's turn the green knob and see what happens. Dude, that sounds so crazy. I can't even do it without like laughing. They call me Mr. 8-bit. Yeah, it's just a little too wacky, but yeah, like I said, you keep the dial around 9 o'clock basically. You're in the clear. All right, well I'm learning the strengths and weaknesses of these different devices. This one definitely, I feel like, yeah, it doesn't really handle the high end as well on some of these samples, whereas this thing, it's like very clear. And yeah, even the bass, I kind of like the sound of it on this a little bit more than this one. It had a lot more character here. Here it was like, I feel like I had to start working with like an insert effect to like get it to sound the way that I wanted. But yeah, the drum break sounded way better on this thing, in my opinion, than this. Like the drum break was like punchy. The sounds were like coming in, they were coming in hot basically. And on this, it was a little bit less of that, I guess. It's a lot to think about. Yeah, no sampler has everything. You gotta sometimes, borrow from certain elements, borrow from others, use certain samplers for certain types of beats and stuff like that. That's kind of the way that I've been approaching it lately is, depending on the samples I'm working with, sometimes I'll gravitate towards a certain machine because of the workflow, because of the sound. So yeah, there's not really a one size fits all solution. It's just like, sometimes I hear something and I'm like, dude, the pocket operator would chop that up in a sick way. Let's try that out or whatever. But yeah, I feel like that kind of does it for this session. It was a little more R&D towards the end, but appreciate y'all sticking around, sharing the comments and stuff. Carrera, it was nice to see you. Love me Loso. Thanks for asking about the green knob, the $1 million question. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here and probably catch y'all on the next one. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. Hope y'all have a good rest of your night, and peace.